I am a happiness magnet. Highly effective action techniques to achieve happiness. So this is the Embrace Happiness series, part 2. Action is a manifestation of what you believe. You cannot fool God as some people would attempt to do. Also, if you don't believe in God, you cannot fool yourself. Do you know that there were the skeptics in times past? There were the what we called agnostics. There were the what we called atheists, and then the skeptics. What's so funny about the skeptics? They doubt everything. They even doubt themselves, which means if they doubt the things that they see, how much more the things that they do not see? Now, when a skeptic, somebody who doubts everything, sees a dog on the street, and this dog is barking, and this dog is about to attack, even if the skeptic does not believe in the dog and doubts the existence of the dog, when the dog attacks him, in all probability, you know what will the skeptic do? He runs away. That as if he knows that he will be beaten and that his life is in danger. That's what you call action. The running is indicative of a belief. That's the power of belief. And these 10 things are about those aspects in our lives that we believe. No, you may believe in a lot of things, subscribe to certain philosophies, or even go to the extent of adhering to a variety of religious fanaticisms. But if you don't take action, you get stuck. That's why these are 10 effective actions. Nothing can bring you your desired results but action. Without action, nothing of great substance will change. Number 1, these are 10 items. Do what you are passionate about. Wait a minute. What about passion? Why does it come first in the list? Well, passion is connected to your talents and skills. And what about talents and skills? Why do you have to grow them? Because they are connected to your mission. They give you the clue as to what sort of purpose or meaning you would like to you have in this life. What sort of contribution you would like to give to the world. So much so that in the process, the world will become a little better than the first time you found it. You know that happy people keep on doing what they are passionate about and eventually excel in what they do. They grow their potentials, they enhance their talents and skills, they work hard to reach a certain degree of maturity when it comes to the development of the gifts that they receive from God. A certain degree of maturity. No amount of failure can stop them from growing, knowing that they are given such gifts for a good cause. They have days when key remedies are hard to find and answers are far from satisfying, but this never stifles them to become the better version of themselves. So, what is the action to take here? Find the time and the ways to express your passion every single day, or at least a day in a week. And why is that important? Because I've talked to a lot of teachers. I even talked to a nurse, and she told me, my life sucks. I said, why is that? Because she did not want to become a nurse. Why did you study nursing for 4 years or more? It's my dad, no? How sad. Some teachers, their passion is not about teaching. But that is not an excuse for you to tell the world, oh, I have a lot of other things to do. Oh, I am already contributing. So the action to take is find the time and the ways to express your passion every single day, or at least a day in a week. Talents and skills that are rooted at the very core of your being are there for a good reason. They are important clues as to why you are here and what you are here for. Do not make excuses. Do not choose your profession to stifle your passion. If you say you are busy now, you might end up in regret. And I told you already that the first regret, common regret of the dying is, I wish I had lived the life that was true to myself and not the life that others expected of me. Now, let's go to the second point. It's something familiar. Talking about being a happiness magnet, delayed gratification could mean more productivity. A lot of young people and even the old ones are allergic to delaying gratifications. The ability to discipline yourself to delay gratification in the short term in order to enjoy greater rewards in the long term is the indispensable prerequisite for success and happiness. That's from Maxwell Maltz. The world we live in is not very supportive of the idea of delaying gratification. You know why? Credit cards give people the possibility to buy now and earn later. The popularity of online gaming gives the students easy access to entertainment first and study tomorrow. Now you can order your food with the click of a button, or better, the use of an app. Waiting does not make a lot of sense anymore. Why wait when there is a possibility to get what you want without much delay? People seem to be allergic to delaying gratification because they believe that it requires an enormous amount of battling with self-control and willpower. The kind of fighting that there seems to be no end in sight. This is not necessarily true. Delayed gratification is just a temporary suspension of pleasure, but such pleasure is attainable at a later period. Think of the immense benefit when you practice delayed gratification. Simply put, delayed gratification is doing the hard work now and enjoying the pleasurable activity later. An online game is more pleasurable when you are ready for the exam the next day. Netflix is a lot more exciting when the house is in order. When you invest in more patience to accomplish a task, you look forward to a more memorable experience or productive result. Essentially, delayed gratification gives more pleasure than what instant gratification can give. People will just have to learn to wait by practicing discipline and perseverance. Many young people are trained to receive immediate gratification. It gives them the illusion that hard work is not necessary for them to get what they want. So what is the action to take? Endure suffering, but at the right time. The sequence is do the hard work now and experience the pleasure later. When pain is endured first, the gain is more meritorious. A lot of things can happen in between the time of doing something else and doing the more appropriate things at the right time. Let's go to number 3. The world is a mirror. This is the third item if you want to be a happiness magnet. What you are feeling inside, you get on the outside. You cannot fix life by working on the outside. You cannot fix life by working on the outside. If people in the house abuse you, changing house won't help. If office mates disrespect you, changing office does not help. We learn things inside out. If you don't like your job, change it. If you don't like your girlfriend, find a new one. If you don't like your house, build something better. But these are temporary solutions. There are times when we need to change some things. Most of the times, we need to change our thinking. Do you want respect? You have to feel that you deserve it. As soon as you begin to value yourself, thinking that you are worth a treasure, you will find support from people. When you change the world around you, you begin to change. They will value what you value. Your attitude towards you is more than what other people think of you. So you better accept who you are if you want anyone to accept you. The more you love yourself, the more people would want to love you. You create your very own reality. Consider yourself a very powerful magnet. The question is, what do you want to attract? When you choose to be joyful, you attract people with jovial spirit. There is a good reason why you do not hug a taong grasa, someone who lost control of the mind and wanders around on the street. Why we do not hug a taong grasa? Is it because we lack charity? No! It's because at some point in his life or her life, the taong grasa is not capable anymore of respecting himself or herself. That is something from within. And that is what he or she gets from without. The world is a mirror. So this is about taking action now. All real and substantial changes start from within. Think of what you really want and think of them more often. What you notice and grow within is reflected without. As soon as you have one thought that is based on fear, drive it away by thinking of the exact opposite. Change from within. It's good to start with the way you think about yourself. If you want to see a different image from your surrounding environment, feel different and act different. In brief, be different. No? Doing the same things will give you the same results. Number 4, build a foundation by way of belief. There are 3 important passages in the Gospel of Mark. Mark 11:23, Mark 11:24, and Mark 11:25 about belief. On verse 23, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you that if anyone says to this mountain, be lifted up and thrown into the sea, and has no doubt in his heart, but believes that it will happen, it will be done for him." Let's skip verse 24 and let's go to verse 25. Mark 11:25, "And when you stand to pray, if you hold anything against another, forgive it, so that your Father in heaven will forgive your trespasses as well." Now here is the more important passage, sandwiched between the 2 verses. On Mark 11:24, we are told by no less than the Lord Jesus himself, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." My dear friends, let me read that again. "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." When you believe before it happens, you cast away doubts and uncertainties. You don't need to exhaust yourself saying a lot of what ifs. Feelings and experiences will have to match together. A feeling of certainty will bring about the results you want. If you truly believe in your heart that you will achieve this or that goal, and you already feel it in your heart, you open your heart's door for the right people and opportunities. Much to your surprise, you get results that are not expected and way beyond that you can imagine. What's the action to take? Create a strong foundation by thinking and believing in advance that you have already achieved whatever it is that you want to receive. Picture yourself with a lot of positive feelings, enjoying the outcome of your action and effort. Let's go to number 5. Get stuck or move out. Again, this is another important action. There is an important story that you'll find in the Gospel of John. I quoted the one in Mark. There is also the version in Luke. This is about the woman sick with hemorrhoids. Let's read it. "And a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors, and had spent all she had. Yet, instead of getting better, she grew worse." Did you notice that? In one verse, and you can already see the description of the circumstances of the woman. She suffered long enough. How long? 12 long years. No? She went to the best doctors of the time. She spent most of her resources. Those are three ordeals that she had to face and that she had to endure. Now, when she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak because she thought, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. What is this woman telling herself? I don't want to be stuck anymore. I don't want to be in this situation anymore. I want to get out from this ordeal, from this pain, from this suffering. It was as if she was telling the world, she was telling the vast universe, watch me today, because today is my day. Today is the beginning of my freedom. My dear friends, that's exactly what she did. She touched the tassel of Jesus' cloak, and instantly she was healed. What is your choice? Do you want to get stuck or do you want to move out? Remember the last time we were talking about the considerations? The question is, do you want to play the victim's roles or do you want to take control? There are so many reasons as to why we feel victims. There are at least 5. But there are all the possible reasons that you could think of in the book as to why you have to take control. When you look for what is missing, it does not make too much time for you to find it. Whatever it is, it could be a missing tile. It could be a missing ball pen. It could be a missing goal. It could be a missing piece. Fortunately, focusing on the lack leaves you feeling depressed. Life is a drug for people with too much anger, disappointment, and frustrations. Complain, blame, and criticism may make you feel you are fighting for your rights. The truth is, you become a blood clot. Blood clot blocking the flow of energy in your system. The more you tune in to what is wrong, the less you move. Even when you tolerate things and people, you suffer in silence. It's resistance, just the same. The first step to freedom is acceptance. This helps you accept where you are. No, it does not make you passive. On the contrary, it empowers you to let go, move on, and start anew. There is always a beginning to everything. If you are doing the same things, obviously, you get the same results. Acceptance makes you say, it's about time to learn from my pains. Instead of blaming your spouse from your misery, you focus on what you can do to better the situation at home. People who live in resentment and thus remain in pain are tempted to choose the easy way out, and that is giving up. Those who choose to embrace pain realize that while struggles are part of the journey, they don't need to remain struggling forever. The technique is, if I resent my life, I get stuck. But when I accept my life, I begin to move. So what is the action to take? Choose to be free from anything that gets you stuck. You're a person, not a tree. No one can make you feel unblessed, unhappy, insecure, or inferior if you don't give them the permission to. In life, you get not what you want, not what you need, but what you deserve. The magic happens when you come to realize that you can make yourself deserving. The wonder happens when you come to realize that in so many ways, God made you and me deserving. Going back to the woman sick with hemorrhoids, then the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell at his feet and, trembling with fear, told him the whole truth, because Jesus was searching for him. He was even asking the apostles, "Who touched me?" And the woman, as if realized that she stole her own healing. So now she knelt down in front of Jesus. But Jesus will make this woman deserving by saying, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." And at that very moment, the woman lived free. she got herself unstuck. What a beautiful story. Now, number 6, who said so? Detachment is also a virtue. When we talk about detachment, we cannot but talk about the Buddhist detachment. Later on, we will talk about it also when we talk about expectations. But suffice it to say that you are not your job. You are not your profession. You are not even your vocation. Why is this particular paragraph important? Because some people will lose their job. Some people will lose their money. Some people will lose their house as if they lose everything and as if it's the end of everything else. It's not true. You are not your money. There is in reality a great difference between net worth and self-worth. You are not your name, your fame, or even your shame. People may say nasty things about you, but it does not change you a bit if you don't allow them to. You are not your problems, failures, and struggles. They are part of what it means to live or the consequences of past choices, but they are not you. Detachment somehow eliminate fear of failure. You become a magnet to opportunities. You have more blessings to come because your life's door is open. The more you let go of things, people, and dog, the more they come back and cherish your presence. When you chase people, cats and dogs, they run away. But don't try chasing a taong grasa. Not that they don't like you, it's just because you chase them desperately. You are announcing to the world that you are in great need when what you have to vibrate is, I am whole and satisfied. Why? Because you have everything you need. You can be detached and insistent at the same time. Determined people find ways to succeed. Detachment and determination can go together. And when they don't, these people do not wallow in desperate thoughts. They simply say, my time will come sooner or later. Then they exert more effort until they become expert in what they do and achieve excellence. When you are detached, you don't consider failure, rejection, or delays as something permanent. You know for a fact that things can change and get better through time. So what is the action to take? Practice detachment. To avoid pain, don't let opinions become your dogma. Number 7, educate yourself first, then become a witness. Stop educating people, in quotation marks. While it's everyone's duty to educate the young, most adults know what they must do. You are not here to remind them. Besides, people learn what they want to. And when they want to, when they feel it's about time, you really want to be a good witness to them, accept them for who they are. That is the first step. People do not respond positively when you force them to change. The more you impress them, the less they pay attention. People learn when they are open and ready. Observe about road rage. Two people trying to fight for their rights and proving the other wrong. What does usually happen? A lot of disagreement. That unfortunately can escalate into violence. So relax, stay calm, focus on what you can learn in a situation instead of educating the other person. When you master yourself, your experiences will be more peaceful and productive. There is no productivity in fighting. Life can get worse sometimes. It's already given that. That's already given. It's a given fact for a lot of people. Life is difficult. Opportunities come when you don't search for them. You find people when you stop looking for them. Solutions present themselves when you stop being desperate. End your struggle. Never feel desperate. Don't force situations. Learn to calm down. Enjoy the moment. You find people when you stop looking for them. When you master yourself, your experiences will be more peaceful and productive. There is no productivity in fighting. So what do? You think your sufferings and pains are all that there is. So here is the action to take. Educate yourself first. When it comes to changing people, detach yourself from results. People act in ways we do not understand. Sometimes you are duty-bound to teach, inspire, correct, or even educate these people. Most of the times, you are called to become a witness as you educate yourself. Witnessing is the best way to become a channel of God's blessing. Number 8, acceptance is power too. So now, more elaboration on acceptance. When you fight against life, life always wins. When you go against the tide, you feel the drag. Life becomes burdensome. Sometimes you have to fight for what is right. Most of the times, you have to go with the flow. The point is, there are so many things that are beyond your control. When you forcibly try to control how things work, you are opening yourself for more disappointment. There are times when you need to be on top of situations. Most of the time, keep in mind that there is no need to control everything. It's not your job to control in a way that you have to feel dominant. Neither should you feel inferior when situations are beyond your power. Besides, even if you try to, you can't. Trust that no matter what, everything will turn out just fine. People experience pain in life due to unfulfilled expectations. Embrace even what is unembraceable. It is not bad to have some expectations. But remember, people have choices too, and the execution of all behavior by everyone you meet in your life is in their hands, not yours. Do you want to be disappointed and waste your precious time and energy? Expect others to do whatever whatever is based on how you want things to be done. And watch how people will let you down. Understand that people do what they can based on what they know. They have their own lessons to learn. Most of them do not intentionally want to upset you or bring misery to your life. What is the action to take? Learn to accept others right at the very stage of their learning. As you do, show more love and appreciation even when they do not act or respond the way you want them to. Number 9, more healthy desires and preferences and less unreasonable expectations. Quotation from Psalm 37 verses 4 and 5. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him and He will act. Just from this verse alone, you know that desires are not bad. It's good to have some desires. Contrary to what Buddhists will tell us. Desires could either be healthy or destructive. That is one thing we have to consider. Healthy desires are what keep the world go round. There is tremendous progress because of the noblest of desires from people of goodwill. Vaccines, antibiotics, other forms of medical healings are products of desire to keep people alive. We enjoy the kind of media platforms we have today because of the desire of people who would find ways to make us connected in the most creative fashion. Watch out for unhealthy desires that have negative consequences. While many of our desires play an indispensable role in achieving moral and happy life, they can easily work against happiness if one is not careful in dealing with them. When it comes to expectations, in what ways do expectations lead to unhappiness and eventually become a source of pain? It's a good question. Expectations become a source of pain when we begin to expect with absolute certainty that something is going to happen. Also, when we begin to take for granted the good we actually possess, or we begin to have a sense of entitlement for the things we want. One day, a friend asked me through Viber to pray for her. A few days after, she thanked me because she was told that the lump in her body was benign. She was terribly happy. She had the same health condition before and after the checkup. So what made her so happy after? It was because on the day she found out that the suspicious lump was nothing but an ounce of fats was also the day she did not expect to be healthy. Minimize expectations greatly reduce the amount of possible disappointments and more optimism. True optimism is not getting what we want. Expecting to get what we want is immaturity. Optimism is not about expecting the best possible outcome. It is to dwell on the most hopeful aspect of a situation. Less expectation is not tantamount to less success. Neither will you become less optimistic. The noblest thing that you can do to yourself is to be grateful with what you already have. While you do not expect to be healthy, desire to be healthy and do everything in your arsenal to keep yourself healthy. The point is, wake up every single day and feel blessed and happy that as if you are just told by the doctor that you have a long way to go because your health is in a pristine condition. So what is the action to take? Replace expectations with preferences. In doing so, you spare yourself the unhappiness that would have come from not getting what you want. Unfulfilled expectations cause gratuitous pain. When they are fulfilled, they diminish gratitude. Make appropriate demands only when necessary. This would include fidelity from the spouse, honest work from employees, obedience, and respect from children. In most cases, focus and aspire on highest goals, hopes, and ambitions. The last item, number 10, is it a matter of life and death? Watch out for trivialities. Man is like a breath. His days are like a passing shadow. Again, a quotation from the Psalm 144 verse 4. Life is difficult. You misplace a cell phone. Someone forgets to greet you on your birthday. You are sin zoned by a friend. You got the wrong item from Shopee. The Grab driver suddenly cancels your order. You get into conflict with the loved one. You found out someone is telling you lies. You are criticized, compared, blamed, or rejected. You are broken-hearted. Someone uses your identity as a social platform. You were accused of something that tarnished your reputation. You got fired. Your spouse left you for someone else. At about the same time, the doctor found a lump under your breast. Life is difficult. Some of the items that I just told you are examples as to what make life difficult. You don't have that much to cover the bills. But my dear friends, all the things that I mentioned, they are part of the trivialities, non-essentials of life. So what is the action to take? Don't get caught in the middle of trivial things, or else you will lose your focus. The only two things that are not trivial are, listen to this, you were born and you will die. The rest in between is small, is tough. The game of life is not easy, and it can change in the blink of an eye. So what do we do as an action to take? Make the best in every situation. Take time to pause. Find out what you can learn and enjoy in the best way you can. While you are here, focus on living the life that God wants you to live and become the person that He wants you to be. Jesus said in the famous John 10:10, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly." Be happy, be healthy, be holy,